Rich Benjamin, I turn to you because you have really, before the Trump era, done some really deep reporting on this. And one of the complaints and concerns from other parts of the country, and there are parts of the country that have more and less geographic diversity, which doesn't make them more or less interesting places necessarily, it's just where people live. You wrote a book called Whitopia where you spent time in those communities, talking to those people. And one of the things I was struck by in our past conversations was how you pointed out how many great people you found, even in places that were getting quote unquote whiter or less diverse. And then you also found other things. Walk us through that prism that you had, because that was pre-Trump election.
Yeah, sorry, pre-Trump election, I did a two-year, 27,000-mile journey through the whitest parts of this country. And it really was a prelude to the issues that Trump would use, how he uses race as a proxy for immigration, for so-called voter fraud, as a pretext to repeal public services like ACA. And so you can have this dynamic where you have perfectly nice people, but you had a broiling resentment that also has to do with demographics and white panic that Trump really saw and he's maximized.
And what do they hear when the president says, quote, "I'm not a racist"? What do you think people are hearing from that?
Oh, they personalize it. Oh, he must not be a racist because we see what's in his heart. But as your other panelists were saying, racism is about power. Now that he has the means and the will to institute these policies, whether we're talking about a wall, whether we're talking about DACA, whether we're talking about voter suppression, that's the real crux of the matter. Personally, I don't really care what's in Donald Trump's heart. I don't care about his statement he made today. The question becomes, we have a man in power who can give a green light to people who otherwise might not be racist to have these views. And when we really look at King's words, when we look at a letter from a Birmingham jail, he really took to task moderates and said, it's one thing for obvious racists, we can dismiss them, but the rubber hits the road when moderates do not stick up for racist viewpoints and what we could achieve in this country like a beloved community.